Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this. Sometimes you stumble upon a story so rich with dedication and relentless advocacy, it just demands a deep dive. Today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're focusing on Vilas Rupavati. Now, that name might not be instantly familiar to everyone, but his impact, especially in Maharashtra, India, it's profound.
It really is. And what's fascinating here, looking at the sources you've given us, is how they paint such a complete picture of a life truly dedicated to, well, explaining and addressing the needs of the most marginalized. So our mission today is to explore all facets of his journey. We're talking early activism, groundbreaking policy changes, the ongoing battles, everything. We really want to explain all these points from the sources. Exactly. This is tailored for you, our listener, using the insights from the sources you provided, aiming for a quick but really thorough understanding of this remarkable figure. So let's jump right in. Where did it all start? Okay, so the basics. Vilas Haribal Rupavat, born March 16th, 1967, Perawadiya Hospital in Mumbai. But his family's roots are in Nashik district, specifically Sanar Taluka, Dubey village, so firmly anchored in Maharashtra.
Right, and you can see how those roots really fueled his purpose early on. He officially started working for weaker sections in 1995, but the spark, it ignited way before that.
Way before. That's what's incredible. The sources say he was involved in activism at just 14. This was back in 1982. He was part of that long march for naming the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. And get this, he was arrested. Jailed for a day alongside people like Professor Yogendra Kawade and journalist Diwakar Sejal and Anand Shindekar. Just a teenager. Wow. Yeah, that experience must have really cemented his path. And then his formative years, say 18 to 24, he spent working with the Indian Dalit Panther. That's a major movement for Dalit rights, working alongside Mr. Athwale. So there's this really consistent thread right from the beginning, advocating for the Dalit community, a lifelong thing.
Absolutely. And from that foundation, he built this, extensive network. His involvement across different communities is clear. The list of leadership roles is pretty impressive. He's got the Sangathan role in Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction. Plus, he's president of the Maharashtra Niradhar Dasi Mahila Sangathana, All India Blue Tiger, and the Durga Gataka Gadi. Quite a portfolio.
And it shows his influence wasn't just in one area. He also navigated politics, former secretary of the Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee, former general secretary of the Mumbai Congress Committee, former president of the Niratri Vyaktiv Vikas Vibhag. So he's worked inside and outside traditional political structures. It's a multifaceted approach, whatever it takes to help the marginalized.
Exactly. And beyond the titles, it's the hands-on work that really stands out, like the daily food distribution at his office in Ghatkapar. Hundreds of seniors, destitute folks, getting fed every day. Plus, he runs a low-cost dispensary through a trust. Basic health care for those who just can't afford it otherwise. Okay, let's talk about some specific examples of his direct aid. There's this really heartwarming one from 2008 for Diwali. He organized provisions oil, sugar, flour, semolina, other essentials for 3,000 people. Devadasis, widows, destitute, abandoned people, domestic workers, even Kinnars, the transgender community. Making sure they could celebrate too.
And that really highlights his inclusive approach, doesn't it? It wasn't just one group. He also gave financial support to religious institutions of all faiths, Buddhist vihars, Hindu temples, mosques, gurudwaras, churches, and support for community celebrations too, Jayantis of great figures, Ganpati Bappa, Dahi Handi Mandals. It's about uplifting everyone, truly.
And it goes deeper to individuals facing really severe hardships. Financial aid for people with cancer, kidney disease, heart problems, accident victims. He's also, interestingly, guided thousands with criminal backgrounds towards rehabilitation, helping them find jobs, start businesses.
Yeah.
Helping young people, too.
Yeah, it connects to a bigger picture, a holistic view of community well-being. He organizes blood donation drives, medical camps, HIV awareness, eye camps, donated wheelchairs and trolleys to Rajawati Hospital. It's comprehensive.
And targeted help, too. Financial aid specifically for employment for blind, disabled, Devadasi, and widowed women, helping them gain independence. Plus that act of supporting the families of soldiers martyred in the Kargil War, using the Chief Minister Narayan Rain Fund. Thousands of rupees given.
And what really stands out, I think, is his willingness to tackle corruption head-on, exposing that blood bank, selling blood. That's incredibly brave, and it directly saved lives, potentially thousands. It shows his commitment goes beyond just aid. It's about justice and safety, too.
Definitely. Now, his methods weren't always conventional. He used hunger strikes quite often, 6 days for citizen facilities, another 4 days in 2010 at Zad Maidan, even while in police custody, fighting for weaker sections. Plus, anti-edition campaigns, marches.
Right. And connecting this back, these weren't just, standard protests. They were profound personal sacrifices. He was literally putting his health, his freedom on the line to draw attention to these critical issues, embodied the cause.
Absolutely. Which brings us to one of the most striking events, that semi-nude protest by women on August 15th, 2010. The context here is key. They'd held hundreds of marches across Maharashtra for the rights of widows, abandoned people, Devadasis, Arati, Jagati, Wage Murali, Potraj, domestic workers, sex workers, transgender individuals, blind, disabled, dwarfs, mentally challenged, the Fansi Party community, tribal communities, Nakars, the list goes on. And the government just wasn't responding. So these women, declaring Inqilab Zindabad, long live revolution, staged this incredibly powerful historic protest. It got international attention. BBC News covered it.
It shows that sometimes for those without a voice, traditional methods just aren't enough. You have to do something drastic to break through. And the personal cost, immense. Hundreds of cases filed against him, against thousands of women, arrests, police beatings even. It really makes you ask, what kind of dedication does that take to endure all that for others? It's profound selflessness.
It's staggering. And the scale he could mobilize. June 22nd, 2010, Maharashtra-wide agitation day. We're talking 30 rail blockades, 18 road closures, 40 buses smashed, 12 Tahsil offices broken into, 8 Tahsildars' faces blackened, that symbolic act of shaming. Women even entered the assembly session. Over 2,000 women, plus Vilas Rupert himself, ended up facing numerous legal cases because of it.
And the rallies themselves. Millions of women with Letatai Sakat at Dadar Shivaji Park in 2009. Thousands marching at Azad Maidan. 1 million people at Mumbai Sion Samaya Maidan with the Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan attending. These weren't small protests. They were massive movements demanding real change.
So all this effort, these sacrifices, did they lead to actual results? Yes, absolutely. There are concrete achievements. For one, he secured the Letatai Sakat award from the government, and the award itself reflects the cause. 1 lakh rupees for individuals working for Devadasis, 50,000 for social organizations.
But perhaps even more impactful is the direct financial help he secured. 50,000 rupees for Devadasi children's marriages, that's huge for integration. A one-time 10,000 rupees for domestic workers over 60, and the big one, increasing the monthly aid for Devadasi and destitute widows from just 100 rupees to 1,500 for millions of women. That's a massive, life-altering difference, tangible impact right there.
Definitely. And other policy wins too, securing thousands of yellow ration cards for widows, getting ration cards and voting cards for the Fansi Party community living on Mumbai streets. Basic rights they were denied.
And crucially, successfully stopping the practice of dedicating girls as Devadasis, tackling the root of exploitation, promoting dignity.
He was also key in setting up an independent corporation for the Kinnar community in 2012, recognizing their specific needs. And he helped raise the income limit for disabled individuals to 1.5 lakh rupees, improving their access to benefits.
And think about that 2019 incident, the police raid on sex worker homes on Grand Road. Property damaged, alleged theft. Vilas Rupert stepped in. His complaint led to a CID inquiry. It shows he stands up for human rights, no matter how stigmatized the group, especially against potential abuse of power.
His work during the pandemic, too, pushing for local trains for women, making sure Dr. Ambedkar's Mahaparinirvan Din stayed open for homage, even facing cases for it, distributing rations, sending money via Google Pay, distributing Ayurvedic medicines. Just relentless support during a crisis.
Yeah, looking at the big picture, it's undeniable. His agitations were a major force. The Maharashtra government is now bringing in new schemes for women, and they acknowledge his role in pushing for that change.
But this kind of impact doesn't come easy, right? He faced immense pressure. The government tried to silence him, using different departments to cause trouble for him, for his family, but he just kept going.
And that terrible accident in 2009 with Letatai Sakat, broken hand, leg, spinal bone, fractured face, severe injuries. It really makes you wonder, how do you recover from that physically and mentally and just jump back into the fight? Incredible strength.
He calls it a miraculous recovery, attributing it to the blessings of the poor. It allowed him to get right back to his struggle. And even with all that achieved, the work isn't done. He has an ongoing agenda, demands currently with the Maharashtra government, things like an independent corporation specifically for Devadasi widow and abandoned widows, a resurvey of Devadasis missed in the 94 survey, making sure no one's left out.
And the scope is huge. Permanent monthly aid of 5,000 rupees for widows. Removing those restrictive conditions and destitute schemes that often block people. Government housing for the Kinnar community. also advocating for 5,000 rupees monthly for elderly domestic workers, and legal status plus 5,000 monthly for elderly sex workers. These are fundamental, challenging demands that could change millions of lives.
And his influence goes beyond just policy for specific groups. Think about historical representation. That 2015 agitation against Google, it led to Dr. Ambedkar's photo on the Google Doodle for his Jayanti. That's major visibility. Or protesting the wrong birth date for Dr. Ambedkar in a textbook, April 4th instead of 14th. He got an apology. Lakhs of books were burned and reprinted correctly. That's dedication to accuracy.
It really shows one person can challenge big institutions and correct the record. He also went on hunger strike for Shahir Sachinmali's release, supporting free expression. He fought for a larger Dr. Ambedkar statue in Ghatkopar. And that move fielding transgender, disabled, widow, and Devadasi women in Lok Sabha elections. A brilliant strategy to get those voices heard at the highest level.
And the fight continues today. Issues with a huge Dr. Ambedkar statue at Indu Mill in Mumbai he agitated, got arrested, still corresponding with the government, protesting a community takeover of a Buddha Vihar in Bihar. Agitating in Mumbai after that police lathi charge on Dalits in Barbani district, following a statue defacement which tragically led to a death, and his arrest again. Constant activism against injustice towards Dalits. What's also fascinating are his political principles. He seems genuinely uninterested in power for himself. In 2010, Uddhav Thackeray offered him a Lok Sabha ticket. He missed it due to the accident, but the offer was there.
Yeah, and even more surprising maybe is 2014. When Modi became the PM candidate, Vilas Rupavat was apparently the first Dalit leader called by both Modi and Amit Shah to join the BJP. He said no.
Raj Thackeray also offered him an assembly constituency in Ghatkopar West. Again, he refused. But he asked Raj Thackeray to talk about the issues of the destitute and oppressed in his speeches instead, using the opportunity for the cause, not himself.
And Raj Thackeray's reaction says it all, doesn't it? Reportedly told him he was the first leader he had met who asked for the people and not for himself. Acknowledged his selflessness. It really poses a question about what true leadership looks like.
He did express some disappointment with the Congress Party, though. Felt they didn't give him a government role after his agitations during their rule, despite promises. A common story, maybe, that disconnect between activism and politics.
But the respect he commanded is clear. Anand DA, the Thane's super leader legend back in '98, personally had Rupavat sit in his own chair, a huge symbolic gesture. And more recently, his support for the Ram Lala Temple, fasting in 2022, and securing voting rights and female-like naming for Kinnars. It shows his wide range of concerns.
So wrapping this up, Vilas Rupavat's story, it's just a powerful, frankly humbling reminder that real deep social change often comes down to just unwavering dedication, a selfless spirit. His life really is a testament to fighting relentlessly for the downtrodden, being willing to sacrifice so much personally, and actually achieving significant shifts in policy and human rights in Maharashtra.
Which leaves us with a question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about. In this world, flooded with information, how do we even spot, let alone support, people who truly embody this kind of persistent, selfless advocacy? What really strikes you about his way of making change happen?
A really powerful thought to end on, and a testament to what one person's actions can achieve. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the incredible life and work of Vilas Rupavat. We hope this gave you a clear, thorough picture of his contributions and the sheer challenges and triumphs of this kind of social advocacy.